Mueller with a deep ball over to the right, into Steffen's hands, and this time he hangs on. Touchdown for Clark. That's the throw that Brandon Mueller has been wanting to make all day, and Max Steffen gets redemption in the end zone. And in the gun, and I think it's going to be a free play for Clark. Mueller with a lot of time, looking out, throwing deep, high and deep, intended is Hickey, and it's caught, and it's a touchdown for Clark. Yellow Jackets on their own 11. Whitehall with the handoff and gets eaten up by Mulcahy as he drags him back a few extra yards. Now Mueller continues in the gun, 2nd and 5. Dropping back, throwing deep and right. Open man and Steffen, and bobbled out of his hands for what would have been a touchdown in the early going.
Oh, absolutely. And Max Steffen, usually a very sure-handed receiver. This was a beautiful pass right on the money for Steffen to make. Just a slight back shoulder, but certainly one that Steffen has to make, and that's the explosive plays that Coach Regalado wants to see. And you talked about finish. That's where you got to finish the drive. You got to make those catches.
3rd and 5 now for Clark, the only blemish on the offense we've seen so far today. Mueller again in the gun, calls for it, looks left, and caught for just short of the first down, I believe. As it's secured by Anthony King, the sophomore out of Denver.
Yeah, they're not going to be satisfied with a field goal attempt on this one at all. They're going to want to get that first down and
so
keep this drive going.
4th and 1. Mueller in the gun with Jordan Brown to his right. The handoff to Brown, the push forward, and the first down. So Clark continues to move the chains.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes just stay a little basic here. Give the ball to your running back. He's averaging 5.6 yards per attempt, so just give that ball to him and have him get the yardage.
Another handoff to Brown, fighting through the middle and rushing into the end zone. A quick bobble, and it is a touchdown for Jordan Brown. So Clark does get the 6 points, and the Pride start fast just as they hoped.
Yeah, coming out of the gate fast, an impressive drive. As we talked about, what Coach Regalado wants to see, and you just see the huge hole for Jordan Brown there, busting a couple tackles. You see the bobble, but the ball looks like it crossed the goal line before that happened.
205 pounds out of Lawrence, Kansas. 2nd touchdown of the year for Jordan Brown. As Victor Moreno gets set to put it through the uprights. And the product out of Spain puts it up and good. It's a 7-0 lead for Clark in the early going on the opening drive.
Yeah, and just you saw the fast tempo. You could see Brandon Mueller between plays just kind of with his hands telling his offense to get set up, let's get this going. You could tell Coach Regalado has really been focusing on that in practice.
So the last time we were here was week 1, and unfortunately Clark didn't score. I did not know about the foghorn after a touchdown.
The old foghorn, yeah, coming off. And, of course, they want to hear that foghorn a lot today and a lot this season, so they don't want it to get rusty. So it's a nice tradition that they got going here, Coach Regalado, and certainly one they want to play a lot.
Do they do that for the high school games, too?
No, they do not.
Just a Clark thing, huh?
It's a Clark thing, yeah. It's a culture thing at Clark that Coach Regalado wants to kind of start and get going. And, boy, speaking of starts and getting going, that's certainly what that first drive was.
Yeah, Clark able to still connect on 7 points after pretty much a drop touchdown pass in the end zone by Max Steffen. Here's a high kick that's collected at the 30-yard line just behind it, but we get a whistle blown. And
yeah, they called him down on the catch. Looks like his arm went up.
He must have snuck in that arm right before catching the football. So Graceland will begin their offense.
Yeah, and this certainly, Graceland has to come out already in a 7-0 hole. This is where Graceland really, we talked about the ball control, has to make sure that they're doing the job they need to do to push that ball down the field and at the very least change field position, but certainly get some points on the board in response to that impressive opening drive by the Pride.
So Brett Whitehall is the freshman quarterback under center with a little pitch back to Bobby Nelson in the first rush. and gets brought down for no gain, possible loss of yards. Graceland's offense has struggled, to say the least, to begin this season. Just 6 points overall in the first 3 games, as they've given up losses 42-0, 38-0, and 33-6. And yeah, there's Nate Robinson in for his second year as the head coach of Graceland University. And keep in mind, Nate Robinson came into this job at a very unusual spot. He wasn't hired until late April of 2019. It was kind of an abrupt ending to the previous head coach and Mark Kolb, so he had to work a lot on the fly, which can really affect how you recruit, how you pick up your staff, and how about this, picking up the defense, a massive tackle by Clark's line.